That he was training a new teenager with loads of potential. Light heavyweight Sean Ray went on to win many teenage events and competed at the 1986 Junior National, but lost to a more massive and better conditioned Eddie Robinson. Although he hasn't physically changed much over the last few years, Sean has been good enough to make his mark on the pro scene, placing well on the Olympia stage.
North Carolina. And we're speaking backstage here with teen competitor in the heavyweight division, Jay Cutler. Jay, it's very nice to have you in the contest today. I want to particularly mention that you impressed us as being a real natural at this sport, and you've really come a long way in the few short years you've been training. Did bodybuilding come naturally to you, or was it a tough struggle all the way?
Bodybuilding's been pretty easy for me. I mean, it's just, I think, mainly a focus, and to be something, it takes a lot of time, but I'm dedicated, and it's brought me quite a bit of attention so far anyway.
Well, it's going to bring you an awful lot more attention after this evening, because undoubtedly you placed very highly in the show tonight. You're going to be up against some tough competition in the general pose down, but since you have such a limited class, there won't be too much difficulty probably in winning your class. Do you have any particular strategy that you've got planned for the overall pose down?
Basically, I'm just going to do as well as I can do. I mean, I came into the show, it's my second show. I've done the best I can right now for what I got, and I just hope to do well, that's all.
You mean you've been in only one other contest before tonight?
One other show. I won another show just to qualify for this, and that brought me here. And so I can't, you know, it's a big stepping stone for me just to be here.
Well, it certainly is, and considering the fact that you're not very experienced in competition, that you act as if you've been doing this for quite a long time. How did you get to that stage? I mean, did someone coach you through this?
Yeah, I've worked with Chris Aceto a little bit, and he's helped me out a real lot, and I just had a lot of support, just just family and friends, and I just had the right support, just enough to get here, and hopefully within the next couple of years I'll be able to be in higher places.
What we're talking about is shape, structure, harmony of the muscles. The key operative word here is genetics. We can't pick our parents, but he was very lucky to get the parents that he had.
And we asked Dexter how he got into bodybuilding.
It was about, I'd say, 7 years ago. My brother had just come out of boot camp, and he had gotten bigger than that, and I wanted to improve also, so I went into a gym and joined, and I started watching other guys around, you know, size that they had on, so I started training harder and harder, and a friend of mine took me to a bodybuilding show, and I liked what I saw, so and that's how I got started.
Looks like a safety in football.
2 years ago, he was a lightweight.
That's incredible.
But what I have to say is, from what I've seen, I know that Kenny Flex Wheeler is going to be very tough. He's a former Mr. California, along with Chris Cormier, who's also a former Mr. California winner. We have big Mike Matarazzo from back east somewhere. No, God knows where he came from. He's a beast.
He comes from New Jersey and New York. He's that big.
There's a lot of big guys. So this show it's not really up for grabs, but there's some top quality people here that'll be in the pros very soon.
All right. Hard to say the word amateur next to Flex Wheeler because he's been at it for such a long time for a 25-year-old.
He's young, you know, in bodybuilding terms. And again, this is our second consecutive California champion. He won the overall back in '89. Chris Cormier in 1990. Kyle Norris is the junior national champion. So we've got the top of the amateurs making the natural progression onto the USA. Kenny Wheeler is my favorite going into this contest tonight. I saw him training in the gym. He trains very hard, trains with his best friend there, Rico, and Chris Cormier on occasion. He's got genetics just like that of Chris Cormier, except I believe he's a little harder and a little bit better condition than Chris tonight.
Okay, well, you know what? He comes in 11 pounds heavier. He switched up his routine a little bit and decided to come in a little heavier this year.
I think it worked to his advantage. He's carried the same kind of condition as he did as a light heavyweight.
Did the barber make a mistake on the back of his head? Did I see the word flex?
He's got it. He believes in himself. Adds character, and he's Mr. Personality. He's a quiet, soft-spoken guy, but he's got all the personality you could ever want in a bodybuilder in this age of stereotypes and stigmas with the arrogance and those kind of tags that go along with bodybuilding.
Well, he is flexed because they say he is always semi-flexed. He can do this.
It's Chris Cormier, originally from Palm Springs, now living in Venice. And I want to say hi to the guys back in Palm Springs.
I like Chris Cormier. He's 23. He's got a lot of savvy on the stage. 5'10", 214 pounds. The overall 1990 California champion.
Yeah, now Chris is another one of those genetically gifted bodybuilders, and he's just now tapping into his potential. And the good thing is he knows that it's coming. When you're genetically gifted, people want to see you produce magic now. With him, it's going to take a little bit more time to fill out and mature, but he's got the shape and the structure. It's just a matter of time before his number comes up and he's number one.
Sean, you were talking earlier about the team of people that you often need to make it. He has Chris Aceto with his diet. He trains with Flex Wheeler, and he also has Gary Stridham working on his team. So those are some strong names.
You got to have that support system, but most importantly, you got to believe in yourself. And Chris has proved that over the years. He's been consistent in his placings. He's always been up at the top. And again, he won the California in 1990. And this is the natural next step to take, and that's take on the USA. Look at the Christmas tree in the lower back area. He's in very good condition here tonight. Very graceful and slow, dramatic pose. It's the kind I like. I'm similar to that style of posing, and a little bit biased. He's very good.
Chris Cormier. All right.
Hi, I'm Kevin Levrone, the guy who came out of nowhere to win the heavyweight and overall title at the NPC Nationals with inhuman size and symmetry. One of my freaky body parts I used to dominate that show was my arms, which right now measure well over 22 inches. I didn't build them with fancy machines and long routines, just a lot of heavyweight and hard work. So if you're ready to grow, follow me and let's pump up the volume.
I think so. I think a lot of kids are still looking at the magazines and hoping that they could look like that one day. And that's what got me started into it, and a lot of other people. So, yeah, I think there is a future in bodybuilding, as long as it's not corrupted by people that are not bodybuilders, that are just looking for the fast money or fast buck. I think it could be going somewhere.
He is from Massachusetts, but he's living now in the hotbed of bodybuilding, Venice, California.
Eventually, you wind up in Venice, California, if you're any kind of serious bodybuilder, to find out what it's like. Train side by side with the best in the world, the professionals, Gary Stridham and Mike Christian and the likes. And you also trade secrets, and you train on some of the best equipment available.
I said I think he's a favorite at this point because he did so well in prejudging, and when you've got that boost going into the free posing, you automatically assume the favorite spot.
He's definitely one of the favorites and the biggest guy by far in the contest. And tonight we're going to find out the difference between genetics and freakiness. He's definitely a genetic gifted bodybuilder, but he's got freaky size that some of the other guys are not carrying. Kenny Flex Wheeler, on the other hand, has genetic shape. And we're going to find out what the judges are looking for. Is it the freakiness and the mass and those calves and those arms, or is it the genetic balance of a Flex Wheeler or a Chris Cormier?
The judges